So if you were in my stream earlier today, yes, we played with Lord of Wolves pretty much all afternoon. I wanted to see how it felt after the most recent Sandbox change. This is Sandbox 2.5.2 and the most updated video on Lord of Wolves right now, at least from my channel, in regards to Lord of Wolves post-nerf. Now first up, Lord of Wolves got a reduction in the amount of ammo that Shotgun Scavenger Perks gives when it is in the Release the Wolves state. It also got a decrease in effective range on Lord of Wolves, and that effective range also is even more aggressively decreased when your weapon is in the Release the Wolves state. So we're going to talk about this weapon, what exactly happened to it today, where its kill range is, how it compares to what it was previously, and we're also going to discuss the advantages of using either Release the Wolves or just using the shotgun in its base form, because there is some pros and cons to both sides. So first up, let's just hit the perks again for those that don't remember, like you forgot or something. This is a shotgun, and it comes with the exotic perk Shrapnel Launcher, which means it fires a powerful short-range burst of solar damage. Essentially a shotgun, but like in pulse rifle form. It also comes with the perk Release the Wolves, in which can be self-activated, requiring you to only hold down your reload button, which now throws this weapon from a 5-burst shotgun to now a 10-burst shotgun, meaning when you press the trigger, 10 bullets is used up and is well on its way to decapitate anything in front of it. Now, Scavenger Perks pre 2.5.2 would grant this shotgun 30 rounds while in the Release the Wolves state, meaning you had 3 full shots there to go to Pound Town with, and again, this was with 2 Scavenger Perks. Now, it only grants you 20 shots, which is like the equivalent of using 1 Scavenger Perk with most special weapons. I think this was completely fair. I actually think you got plenty of ammo. I made 2 full shots there at Release the Wolves. Previously, I felt like there was just an overabundance of special ammo with 2 Scavenger Perks and Release the Wolves. Like when you're walking around Crucible with well over 100 rounds of shotgun ammo, you could see where a problem arises. So I thought that this nerf here was a very fair nerf by Bungie. Now, moving on to the kill range of Lord of Wolves. Pre 2.5.2, Lord of Wolves had the one-hit kill potential with Release the Wolves from approximately 20 meters. 20 meters! Now the kill range with something like Release the Wolves with that steep damage fall off is actually 13.5 meters. Almost 14 meters. And if you remember last week, we actually called it, I assumed it was going to be around 14 meters where we would get the cutoff point for Lord of Wolves, which still keeps Chaperone on top in terms of one-hit kill range. But Lord of Wolves is pretty much right there neck and neck, and better than any other shotgun in terms of being the most forgiving shotgun in the game, while simultaneously still having max range capabilities similar and close to something like Chaperone. Now with Release the Wolves, from 0 meters all the way to 12 meters, you will be hitting 49 per body shot. And without Release the Wolves, your damage is actually less there at 39 per body shot. So again, Release the Wolves doesn't just increase the amount of ammo expended per shot, it also increases your damage there. Now when damage fall off begins, which starts around the 13 meter mark, this is when the benefits of using Lord of Wolves without Release the Wolves start to show. At 13 meters with Release the Wolves, we're hitting 26 to 33 per pellet, majority of the pellets being in the 20s. And without Release the Wolves, at 13 meters, we're hitting 32 to 34. Not as much deviation in terms of damage per pellet. And also 13 meters is the max range that Lord of Wolves can kill without using Release the Wolves. And again, Release the Wolves throws that up about half a meter to almost a meter. Again, we are almost at 14 meters with Release the Wolves there. Now at 13.5, this is when we really start to see the drop off. Release the Wolves is showing 18 to 26. Without Release the Wolves, we're showing 29 to 31. Now at 13.5, 29 to 31 per pellet, using Lord of Wolves without Release the Wolves, you're not going to get a one-hit kill. So even though the damage fall off isn't as steep as it is there with Release the Wolves, mathematically, the only way to get a kill from that range is to use up 2 bursts, or to just simply use Release the Wolves, despite the damage fall off being as steep as it is. So is there any real major benefits to using Lord of Wolves without Release the Wolves? I think the only reason why we would here is for ammo conservation. Using 5 shots instead of 10, you see the benefits. But with that being said, understand that scavenger perks react differently when Release the Wolves is activated and when it's not activated, meaning 2 scavenger perks when Release the Wolves is activated gives you 20 shots back, but 2 scavenger perks without Release the Wolves only gives you 15 shots back. Now technically that's 3 shots to 2, but if you're really trying to go the extra mile, and I guess this would be more applicable for my PvE players, I would recommend using something like Release the Wolves when picking up ammo. That way you get the most amount of ammo back, and then swapping back off of Release the Wolves. And then really the only time you would swap to something like Release the Wolves is when you're really dealing with high health targets. But realistically, for something like PvP, I would highly advise just staying on Release the Wolves. It's self-activated, guys. It's super forgiving. It does 49 damage per pellet between 0 and 12 meters. You only have to land 4 of the 10 shots to get a 1-hit kill. Now that seems like a huge waste of ammo, but that's the beautiful thing about Lord of Wolves. It's all about just spraying, man. You don't even have to look at exactly what you're shooting at. You just gotta be in the general direction and just start spraying. And as long as 40% of your shots makes contact, well, that's all that matters. And when it comes to shutting down supers, 100% hands down, you gotta be using Release the Wolves. And yes, in terms of shutting down supers, Lord of Wolves can still shut it down with ease. So overall, guys, yes, there was a damage nerf. It was definitely dropped by approximately 6 to 6.5 meters. But right now, where Lord of Wolves is balanced, but still on the upper spectrum of being a top tier weapon. Now, I think a lot of people wanted to see this weapon get nerfed harder, but here's the thing, guys. It is an exotic. On top of that, it is a burst fire weapon, meaning that there will be certain situations when going up against other shotguns, mindbenders, dust rock even still, that those shotguns will still beat you simply because they are an instant shot and done. And even though there doesn't seem like much of a delay in the burst there of Lord of Wolves, sometimes there is a little bit enough delay there where another shotgun can beat you. Overall though, if you adapt to the playstyle that Lord of Wolves presents, it is still a phenomenal shotgun. And I'm very pleased to see that Bungie didn't go in here and just scalp this exotic. Coming from Destiny 1, especially toward the end of year 3, we saw so many exotics in the shell of their former selves. And even though I jumped up and I asked for a nerf for Lord of Wolves, I did not want to see this weapon get destroyed. Where it's at now, it is definitely still a top tier weapon. And if anything, I think it reflects on how powerful this weapon actually was pre 2.5.2. Well, fellas, that is our review for Lord of Wolves. I will be doing an individual review for this weapon on console tomorrow. I know the kill range over there was not the same as it was here on PC, even pre 2.5.2. So we'll get inside of Crucible, test out the kill range. It may still kill at 13.5 meters. I'm speculating that it's going to be somewhere around 12 meters, but it may surprise me. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.